Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're missing football, you don't have to wait till this weekend as we have the Champions League coming back this season during the midweek break. Next on from today onwards, we'll be seeing some matches, and so I'm so excited that I'll be sharing with you my UEFA Fantasy UEFA Champions League Fantasy football team, and this is in addition to the Fantasy Premier League video that I will be sharing on later this week. So without further ado, let's take a look at the team selection. Um, there are some differences to note between UEFA Champions League and Premier League Fantasy. That is, you can make substitutions every day. So you want to have your team spread across the different fixtures this week. So teams that play on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of September, you want to make those manual substitutions throughout the game week. And you can also change your captain selection based on the order in which they play. So the first team selection should be those players playing on the 17th and 18th of September, and later you can substitute those players playing in the 19th of September. So you can see my team has been set up accordingly. The front three are Erling Haaland, Mbappe, and Guirassy, with a midfield of Rafinha, Olise, and Güler. Defense of Van Dijk, Hakimi, Calafiori, Howson, and the goalkeeper being Vicario. So let's take a look at some of these stats and the reason why I selected these players. So firstly, the first no-brainer on my team selection was Erling Haaland. I think he's a leading Premier League striker playing for a leading Premier League team. We can see that he has already 5 goals this season, having started 4 matches and already has a over 8 rating. We can see that his stats also are among the top percentage in terms of goals, expected goals, non-penalty expected goals, shots, and shots on target. So he's a very high quality player that gets a lot of chances, and so I do think that he will continue to continue his excellent form in the Champions League on top of what he has already shown in the Premier League. And yeah, I do think he's going to score a lot of goals and get a lot of points for me this season. So the next forward that I've chosen is Mbappe, who plays for Real Madrid now. You can see from this chart on the right, he has very balanced and very strong performance as well in terms of chances created, shot attempts, goals, as well as touches. And now he's playing as a central striker at Real Madrid, so he's definitely going to get a lot of goal scoring opportunities. He already has 4 goals, 1 assist this season, with a rating of 8.78, which is even higher than Haaland. So you can see that his stats also are very, very good. He's expected to score about 1 goal per game, and he also has very decent shooting and assist stats on FootMob. His dribbling is also very good, high dribbling success, high touches in the box, as well as pretty good in terms of his duels won. So next player we'll be looking at is Sergio Guirassy playing for Borussia Dortmund. He has 4 goals this season with a rating of 8.31. He's slightly cheaper than Mbappe and Haaland, but I do think that he still has very good stats. You can see that he scores an average of 1.35 per game, and also very high expected goals on target, and shots, as well as non-penalty expected goals. So these are the 3 forwards that I've selected. Now let's take a look at the midfielders. The first midfielder that I've chosen is Rafinha, playing on the left wing for Barcelona, and he does have very creative and very attacking stats as well. So he already has 3 goals and 1 assist this season, with an average rating of 7.96. We can see that he also ranks in the midfielder category. He ranks very high in terms of the goals he has scored, as well as the passing and even the the passing and the possession stats have all been pretty impressive for Rafinha so far. So the next player we will look at is Michael Olise, who plays for Bayern Munich as a right winger. You can see from uh, his chart, he also has a very creative and attacking threat there. A lot of strong performances in terms of shot attempts, touches, and goals as well. So he has already 3 goals in 3 games this season, and 1 assist with a rating of 8.66. Similarly, he's among the top performers in terms of shooting. And these are the top stats you want to look at for forwards and midfielders, because they are the shooting, goals, and assists are the ways that players score points. So you want to be focusing on these areas as well. And he also has very decent passing and dribbling stats. So the next player that I've selected is Arda Güler, who also plays for Real Madrid on the right wing. Um, very good performance this season as well. 2 goals, 1 assist already, and he's coming in at 6 million, which is cheaper than the other 2 midfielders, which I've just shared with you. And he also has very good attacking stats. You can see it's all green. Means that he ranks very highly among the other midfielders in the category. So strong shooting, passing, and decent possession stats. Next player is Tijani Reinders, who plays for Man City as a more central and defensive midfielder. Although he doesn't really get a lot of opportunities opportunities in the box, we do see that he does sometimes get forward as a box-to-box midfielder. He makes those deep runs into the opponent's penalty box, and so there is some potential for goals and shots, as well as the potential for him to score from outside the box, which actually earns you extra points in this game. So he has 1 goal and 1 assist for Man City this season with a rating of 7.22, and his stats aren't as good as the previous midfielders that I just showed, but I do think that Reinders has a lot of quality in him, and he does show up in big matches. So I do think that Champions League football really suits him, and I think he can get decent performances, contributing both defensively and going forward as well in this game mode. The last midfielder that I have selected is sort of a bench fodder, or someone who I'm not really expecting much from. Is Lamine Camara, a defensive midfielder from Monaco, and he has had 2 assists this season with an average rating of 7.5. So his shooting isn't very good, but he does have some decent passing and possession stats. Hopefully he can win a few possessions in midfield and earn some extra points there. Moving on to the defenders, the first defender that I've selected is Virgil van Dijk, who plays for Liverpool, a very experienced defender who is very consistent in getting clean sheets, defensive performances, and even some goals from set pieces. Although he doesn't have any goals this season, he does have a good rating of 7.6. And I do think that Liverpool defense in Champions League are pretty good, especially when playing against big teams. Like I saw the game against Arsenal, it was very much, they said they are very organized and they play more defensively, so the game is much less attacking and more focused on the defense. So I do think Liverpool have potential to keep clean sheets during these Champions League matches. So for the defenders, look at his defending stats. He does have very strong performance in terms of duels won, aerial duels won, which can help him to gain defensive contribution points in this game. The next defender that I've chosen is Achraf Hakimi, who plays right back for PSG, and he's a bit different from Van Dijk in that he's a right back, so he gets forward and creates and has more chances going forward, so he creates more goals and as well as scores more goals himself. Although he also doesn't have any goals and assists this season, and he hasn't really started off this season very well. with an average performance of 6.95. However, we know that PSG are a very strong team who won the Champions League last season, so they're definitely going to put in some very strong performances this Champions League. And I do see some potential in him in terms of the passing. The passing stats are very encouraging, so he has a lot of potential for creating assists this season. The next defender that I've selected is Grimaldo from Bayer Leverkusen, who plays as a left wing back. Similar to Hakimi, he gets forwards a lot, creates a lot of opportunities, and scores goals. And he scored two amazing free kicks, I think, this game week against Frankfurt. So he already has 2 goals this season and 1 assist with a rating of 7.74. So putting him on set pieces does give him that extra goal threat and potential to score even more points for my team. The next defender I've chosen is Calafiori, who plays for a very solid Arsenal defense at left back. He has scored 1 goal and 2 assists this season with an average rating of 7.56. And he's also very strong performance in terms of going forward, the goals, the shots on target are all very strong stats, as well as some potential for assists. Although later on, I do think that there might be some risk in terms of rotation for Arsenal, but right now he looks like a very decent option, and I do have other players on the bench in the event that he gets rotated during this game week. So the last defender is Dan Huijsen from newly transferred to Real Madrid from Bournemouth, playing as centre back. And in the Real Madrid defense, as always, a very solid option. He has 1 assist already this season with a rating of 7.54, although this was dragged down by his performance last game against Real Sociedad with a rating of 5.9 due to a red card that he received. So his stats also very green, very strong shooting, passing, and possession stats, and decent defending stats as well. So moving on to the goalkeepers, we can choose 2 goalkeepers, and the reason why I chose these 2 goalkeepers is that they rotate very well with each other over the next few fixtures. So the first goalkeeper is Vicario from Tottenham, and I like the new Spurs defense under Thomas Frank. I do think they're much more organized and potential for him to get a clean sheet this season. He already has 3 clean sheets and only 1 goal conceded, so a very strong rating of 7.97. He ranks among the top goalkeepers in terms of save percentage, expected goals conceded, clean sheets, and if you watch my Fantasy Premier League videos, I also did rank him as the top goalkeeper in the Premier League so far this season. So the goalkeeper that rotates with him is Lucas Chevalier from PSG. He also has 3 clean sheets this season, although he conceded 3 goals. He has also made 1 penalty save already with an average rating of 7.17. So he also has pretty decent stats in terms of penalty saves and goals conceded. So these are the players that I've selected. Let's take a look at my team again. For captaincy wise, for the first day, I'll be captaining Mbappe on 17th of September, and if he doesn't score a lot of points, I will then change my captain on the 18th of September to Michael Olise, and 19th September will be Erling Haaland in the event that the captain performance doesn't satisfy me. So you can see from the teams, the opponents that they are facing, Mbappe has very good fixtures at home against Marseille. Haaland also has Napoli at home, and there are other few good fixtures in this team. So hopefully we can score a decent amount of points, and this will kick us off to a good start for this UEFA Fantasy Football Champions League Fantasy Football. So if you found this video interesting and you want to hear more and see more of this UEFA Champions League Fantasy, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for potentially a review of this new game, or maybe we'll look at the Fantasy Premier League Game Week 5 preview later on this week. See ya.